TWM podcast.
Hello, I am Matty Deller and welcome to the Wrestling World Report, looking at the big wide world of wrestling from Armory to Dome and all places in between. I'll introduce my co-host in just a few minutes time. But first, let's run through all those things. This is a TWM podcast, bringing you content 6 days a week from all corners of the wrestling world, be it news reviews or interviews, on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean or YouTube, and Stitcher as well. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, smash that like button and turn on notifications so you do not miss an episode. And we're brought to you by We Love Sport. They're a fantastic app that normally help you find your nearest sports bar, showcase and latest WWE pay-per-views. Download it. It's on the Apple and Google Play Store right now. Also, we can't use it in these trying times, but they are doing some fantastic content over at We Love Sport UK and welovesport.co. Also, WrestleCrate.co.uk. They got a fantastic item in their latest box from AEW star Brody Lee. Use the code TWM Wrestling for up to 3 free items when you sign up to a monthly box subscription. That's use the code TWM Wrestling at WrestleCrate.co.uk. Joining me, as always, as we delve through the scraps and extra bits, the broken biscuits of independent and international wrestling over the last few days, is Mike Mears.
Good afternoon.
That sounded exhausted.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And joining us as well is Kyle.
Afternoon, ladies, gents, and all genders in between.
So, anyone been busy over the last 24 hours? Kyle?
Oh, God.
If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it.
Should I just get in my shitty Fiesta and drive away?
Yes, we'll join you.
Yeah, there are cots to be said, Kyle, so you should go to them.
Right, I had a brilliant segue there, and then once again, Mike talking about the penises. But yeah, we are going to jump in Kyle's shitty Fiesta and head to Mexico! The Super Series, or Fusion, or whatever you want to call it.
Piss Fusion. Super Piss Fusion.
I was waiting for you to shout Piss Fusion. Super Piss Fusion, as we get a recap of Hammerstone attacking Mance Warner. Mansoor talks about his match and says that Hammer is a dead man. Douglas James cuts a promo on Averno ahead of the opening match. It was alright, pretty standard. Carl got like about a minute of FaceTime of Douglas James, so he was happy. Carl fancies Douglas James if you're new to the podcast.
He exists, I'm happy.
It's also, this episode is Alicia Atout's birthday. Now, I assumed that, it was her birthday when they recorded this and they just played it anyway. No, this is actually really lovely. This was recorded, obviously, about, 6 weeks before, I imagine, something like that.
No, it was only like 3 weeks ago.
Well, still 3 weeks. And they based this whole episode around her birthday because the air date of this episode was Alicia's birthday, which is lovely.
Matty,
yeah?
I've just Googled when her birthday is.
It's the 19th when this came out.
Wikipedia said it's June 1st.
Well, I checked Wikipedia yesterday, which said it was April. Was it April 19th?
Maybe she's like the Queen and has 2 birthdays.
Yeah, dates on here. I really wish that it's for first now.
She's Canada's Queen.
She's got 2 birthdays.
She has all her birthdays.
If in that case, then 1, Wikipedia lied, which has never happened, and 2, MLW just made,
which is hilarious.
So someone's changed her birthday for the bunts after this episode. Then that's what's happened here. Yeah, you nearly did the Mankind Rock things. the Rock's birthday, May 6th. You stupid son of a bitch. Anyway, we get to Averno over Douglas James. I remember when Averno was young and had a mask. Graps ahoy, James is going for some submissions. We get some lucha things. Averno trips him up and throws him in the rails. Averno hits the second most unsafe move into a turnbuckle this week. And then I think James got Finn Balor off this because his shoulder was hanging down for a very long period of time in this. James runs wild, hits a meteor. The ref count's so slow. However, if you watch Mexican wrestling, that's just the thing that happens. We then get a forearm. Crowd cuts. Something else happens. They cut it out, and Averno wins by knockout. Very strange end.
Yep, that happened.
But did you notice on one of the replays, the replay shows him basically getting up from the elbow.
So something happened. Either there was a delayed reaction, which can happen if you've been rocked. Like I've seen that before, people get hit in the face with like a ball, and they get up and they're fine, and then suddenly they go down again. But this was weird.
He must have done something to the shoulder.
Yeah, because that buckle bomb looked nasty. And then I'm not the only one who noticed it. For about 30 seconds, his arm was hanging down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then he kind of held it up to run wild, and he wasn't doing a lot with that arm. I'm not sure what happened, but hopefully he's okay. We then get Alicia Atout. Don't worry, you're going to get a lot of Alicia on this episode. She speaks to Davey Boy Smith Jr., who confirmed he will be in the Super Series. We get an update on Brian Pillman Jr., and he says that he's been cleared because he knows a lot of doctors in Tijuana. First of all, Carl, you were texting me about your opinions on Davey Boy Smith's interview style. Tell us to share with the class.
WWE. It's so WWE.
It's so Heart member that's not Owen Hart. It's just very bland and to the point. Also, why is everyone in MLW seemingly on drugs? They keep talking about all the doctors they know in Tijuana. It's bizarre.
Maybe they're on about plastic surgeons and we're just assuming it's drugs.
So you're going to say that next week Davey Boy Smith's going to come out with a massive pair of tits?
Or a different nose.
What, he's coming out with the Von Erichs?
Hey! Boom. Alicia then spoke to Injustice. They've got a AAAR 6-man tag title match next week. They just basically say that Mexicans don't like them, and Pillman has a lot of money because of his junior and of his name, and they're going to get their justice. However, it doesn't mean we get a highlight package for Vikingo, because Vikingo's wrestling next week.
The best part of that promo segment with Injustice was Koto and... Well, no, did you notice how Jordan Oliver put his hand up to high-five them, but the other two fist-bumped him? Yeah. And it was the most white man thing I've ever seen. Which
fits into Jordan Oliver's character perfectly.
Exactly.
Yes, we got Vikingo and Octagon Jr., who's been about 16 different people. Because I swear Octagon Jr. was Australian Suicide in Lucha Underground. It was Kalisto before he was in WWE, and now it's Golden Magic is now Octagon Jr., but he's also Golden Magic. I don't understand a lot of Lucha Libre.
He's everyone and everything.
He is omnipotent. We see Alexander Hammerstone and Richard Holiday as they were trying to cross the border into Mexico. They're undercover and they're hiding from Mexicans in Mexico. Okay. Holiday said he was going to defend the title against a low-rent Wolfpack Sting, which genuinely made me laugh.
So funny.
And he goes, I was against Chessman, and then Holiday says, I don't even play checkers. Which, again, was just so dumb. We hear a bit of an interview with Dan Lambert saying Key was lucky the match was in a ring and not a cage, because it wouldn't have lasted as long. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
sense. I feel like they're building for that, though.
It's just weird. It's like if it was a different place where we fought, the knockout would have been quicker. Not unless it was like, I don't know, a sledgehammer fight. Then no, it doesn't sort of make sense. Pagano challenged Jacob Fatu, and the first thought I got out of this, Mike, was he might drag a decent match out of him. To be fair.
He will drag it out kicking and screaming.
That's it, drag him out. We get a triple shot of Alicia Atout as she speaks to Hammer. She says she's very disappointed in him, but Hammer says, look to the future, and gives her tanning vouchers because she's Canadian. Even though she looks ridiculously tan. She's not Hogan tan, but she's tan enough.
She's not even on the Hogan level, is she, to be honest?
Mansa then jumps in and they do a fight. We then get Team Filthy, who talk about getting the tag titles and they're going to climb and get them, but Green doesn't know what climbing is and it really confuses Tom Lawler. He starts doing like hand movements and Lawler just goes, what are you doing? He goes, climbing.
It's like they're bumbling oafs, but are both individually really smart, just not on the same day.
It's like two kids in class that work well when the other one's not in, but when they're both together, it just all falls apart.
The weird thing is, when you look at Team Filthy, you would have assumed one of these two would have been the straight man, but it seems like both of them don't know exactly what they're doing. It's
ironic, because almost Garini's the comedic out of the two, because like Lawler's doing the more of the promo stuff, and Garini's just being an idiot, which is the best thing ever. We get Mora Atout. She's after Mansa and Hammer, and then a lift door opens, and they both come out fighting. And I realised Alicia Atout is the MLW women's division they've been talking about.
It all makes sense now, doesn't it?
They were going to have a division, and he gave all the money to Alicia, which we're not against. She's a friend of the podcast, so... they messed up the intros for the main event, because we got a shot of Puma King, then a quick cut of Puma and Tiger together, and then Extreme Tiger's entrance. So it's a weird flash forward in like some sort of weird Hollywood film, excuse me. In case you don't know, Extreme Tiger is Tigre Uno off of Impact Wrestling. Who was the... And
that Puma King has my new favourite wrestling theme.
Oh, what one did he have? I can't...
they both had... Oh, God.
No, one of them...
one of them had Lowrider.
Yeah, had literally the most stereotypical luchador, face luchador music, which is the... But I think Extreme Tiger's dad's Super Porky. So I think he's got the same music that his dad had.
Okay.
Yeah, but Puma King's better, because he fucking comes out to You Give Love a Bad Name.
Yeah, no, he does, yeah. Because Mexico, very 80s.
Was it just me that almost like... I don't know if it was just me, but like Puma King's gear seemed to have a weird pink tinge to it, almost as if he washed it with a red pair of pants.
Only thing I can think
you
of...
paid way too much attention to that.
It's because Puma King wears white, gold, and black. He literally looks like the colour scheme of Puma King, as in like the clothing wear from the 90s.
Yeah, but where does like the slightly off red come from though? That's
probably the cameras. Or it could just be the arena. They say it's a AAA arena, but it's like off-brand AAA. It's not actually AAA, which is brilliant.
Are you trying to say basically this arena is the same level of Aldi level of advertising? This is
the Aldi middle aisle of professional wrestling. Tom Lawler and Dominic Garrini, they defeat Puma King and Extreme Tiger. The first thing I noted here was from the commentators was Lawler has cockmouth. Pass it on.
Right, I've never noticed this before.
What?
Never ever.
He pulls his mouth guard out of his jocks.
Yeah.
Also, he's wearing jean pattern trunks. But essentially, Tom Lawler has cockmouth and was wearing jeggings.
He was wearing hot pants jeggings. It was ridiculous.
It was bizarre.
Somewhere he's the style icon. Let's be real.
If someone passes it on to Tom Lawler, it's nice knowing you all. I've just said that he wears jeggings and has cockmouth.
Well, he's not going to have a real fight for the rest of this year anyway.
Fair enough. They have graps to open. Tiger hits an enziguri to floor Lawler, and we get some Puma and Garrini graps. Puma was in control, but then Team Filthy used a blind tag that wasn't allowed to take control, and then the commentators argue whether a blind tag's a tag or not. Is it a tag or isn't it a tag?
I would have said yeah, because Mexico and Lucha rules.
But remember,
one out, keep moving.
Remember the excellent commentary from OWE last week. If the referee doesn't see it, it's not illegal. I'm so happy we haven't got to watch that anymore.
Well, that sounds more like it came from an ITV Saturday night show.
Tiger leg drops the legs of Garrini. We get a lot of lucha. We get a big submission centipede. Lawler does a Superman punch into the Mighty Mouse. Puma breaks it up, but then Lawler chokes out Extreme Tiger. It was a good main event. I enjoyed the main event between these lot. It was a fun little match. Like Mike says, styles make fights, and the different styles between these two actually made it very, very interesting to watch. We then cut to Alicia Atout's Mexican birthday party. Savio Vega tries to interview Alicia, but then Hammerstone and Warner brawl into the pie, and Hammerstone ends up going face first into the cake because of course he did. Apparently it's good cake. However, I have one problem. Earlier in the night, David Boy Smith Jr. said that Brian Pillman's jaw was wired shut.
Yeah.
And he's there eating cake. So...
It's a Christmas miracle.
Goddamn Mexican Christmas.
But not only that, it's like Pillman picks up a chunk of cake, attempts to put it all in his mouth, doesn't get all of it, and then drops the rest of it.
Just so either they're saying that Tijuana Doctors just went Tijuana Doctors, and here's a deep cut for everyone. Tijuana Doctors are as good as the Doctors in Impact Wrestling. They just go, you're fine.
Do you know what? We need more Dr. Swegler.
Yeah. Hashtag bring Dr. Swegler to Mexico. Get it trending.
TWM podcast are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
We've fallen a bit in love with Gatoh Move because of how silly it is. And it's just, even when wrestling comes back, if they carry on putting this on Fight, we're going to cover it because it's brilliant.
Well, I looked at, we need to cover it to at least, if they put one show a week on, we need to cover it up to, they get to October 2019, so we can see Chris Brooks there.
Yes. I believe Carl texted me and did say we've got about 20 episodes until Chris Brooks turns up. First of all, it starts off hot as Emi Sakura comes in with a big commando roll and says, Happy New Year! Commando rolls ahoy, and we are introduced to the hit Japanese folk combination Apple and Honey, aka Antonio Honda and Mei Segura.
Saruga, I will kick you.
Sorry, Saruga. This is Miko Satomura all over again. Miko and Meiko. Even in Japanese, you could tell how weird this thing was. It was just very Vic. It was very Vic and Bob, because they kept just going Apple and Honey in Japanese over and over again.
It was like the pet and pineapple thing.
Oh God, no!
That's just stereotyping.
It's weird. Now you've mentioned that, I remember when Oscar met him.
Apple, honey. May tells us she wants to be the face of songs and wrestling. Elias has already got there first, as has the Honky Tonk Man and Jeff Jarrett.
Matty, I'd like to remind you when this was filmed.
Yes, Elias was around then.
We also had DJ Z.
We did. We had DJ Z. Hulk Hogan released a few albums back in the day.
Hulk Hogan should be the bassist in Metallica, don't forget.
Yeah, Gillian Hall. Macho Man released a rap album. And also
John Cena as well, if we're on about rap.
John Cena.
Mickey James with Hard Porn Country.
It was not cool. It was not cool.
Different era.
That's a niche joke to the point where there's barely anyone who's going to get that.
Christy Hemme as well.
Oh yeah, Christy Hemme. Opening contest is you. Now you've got me second guessing after May. Carl, say the last name.
Mizumori over Anshamu.
Oh no, I was going to say what May was. Mei Segura. Is that right? Saruga. God damn. Why is it? Anyway, I'm not getting spelling about this. Yeah, because on Fight TV, her name is like written down as Anchum, but it's not. It's Anchu.
It's not. Yeah, it's two separate words.
It's Anchanmu.
Anchanmu. Yeah. So Mizumori of Anchanmu. Anchanmu does that weird leg choke thing, like the cheerleader stretch thing.
That weirded me out because I looked down at one point, hadn't seen the move applied, and I'm like, why? How is her leg in that position?
Mizumori locks in a crab, crossbody, and then that weird leg choke thing until Mizumori hits a big splash for the win. It was interesting. We then get a big tag team match as Balianaki and Saki, aka Curly Crazies, they work over May. God damn it.
Saruga.
Mei Saruga.
You've written it down correctly.
Oh, I wrote it down wrong the first time. Shut up. And Antonio Honda, a.k.a. Apple and Honey. Aki's too tall for Saruga, but then outsmarts him on a knuckle lock. And Aki spin yeets Saruga out of a full Nelson, and we get arm drags ahoy. Oh no, Mike! Antonio Honda's knee's gone out.
Not again.
He's going to have to retire for the 40th time. What I love about this is we all know this shtick from DDT in the US last year, to the point where he's saying it in Japanese, and I know exactly what he's doing. It's brilliant. Oh no, swerve! He hits her. Apple and Honda do. We get an Apple and Honey shove. Segura tries to go for a rolling pin. He gets countered into Saki doing the stunt rider stretch. But Aki literally sits there and flicks Saruga in the head as she's getting rocked towards him.
Genuinely, I think my favourite spot on this entire show.
Yeah, Bali and Aki seem to resort to just flicking Saruga in the head at several points in this match. We get a Saki giant swing and more Aki flicking. Aki then does an airplane spin, which becomes so dangerously close to the wall, I was generally fearful he was going to knock her out. We get a May drop kick, a Honda hot tag. Saki hits a Vader bomb for an air fall. We get May's screamy offense. Saki and Aki, they miss Vader bombs. Double apple and honey push. Dancing apple and honey is blocked. Cross chop, rolling pin for an air fall. And then May is forced against her will to give Honda a Rana. And then Saki hits a suplex on Saruga to pick up the win. It was a fun match. It had Antonio Honda in it, so it was always going to be fun.
The middle of this just got more bonkers.
It did.
Like, it started out normally, ended normally, but then when you look in the middle of it, we just suddenly get the fucking stunt rider with added head poke.
If Balianaki comes back to the UK, I want him to just utilise the flicking of the head.
I think he's residing in the UK currently. Like,
tremendous.
All of his social media says he's currently residing in the UK.
May he flick people in the head in our country even longer.
Only from a 6 foot distance.
Has to buy one of those really long hand finger things, like to flick people. Masa Takanashi, aka Chris Brooks' Japanese boyfriend, and Emi Sakura, they go over Mitsuru, Kono, and Riho. The opening of this match is Emi Sakura and Kono seemingly trying to kill each other, Mike.
Well, yeah, there's clearly a lot going on. There's got to be a massive backstory to this. So
well,
that's something I want to look into.
I read the Google translated blurb from Fight TV, and apparently this is a battle for the future for Gatoh Move, with this match deciding whether nothing will change or everything will change. So,
isn't that just the way it's going to be, regardless?
Yes, but that's what they're telling you.
This is airing during COVID. Everything's going to change anyway.
Yes. Takanishi continues the GBH of Kono. Riho then stops a powerbomb, and they both count a powerbomb to the backdrop. The heels work over Kono. Kono gets the Riho hot tag, and Emi and Rio both miss corner charges, wall charges. We then get like a big splash stopped. I wrote down something, I don't know what it means, so I'm just ignoring it. Rio double stomps Emi on the window, which looked really freaking painful. She's like spread prone over a window and gets double stomped in the back. It just looks awful to take. Rio gets yeeted and we get loads of big move spam. The double splash gets missed. We get a stompy. A really cool ripcord crossbody. I don't know if you guys saw that, where it's like the surfboard, and then she pushes her into the crossbody, which was nice. Kono and Reno buffer, and they fall apart a little bit, so they repeat the spot, and then we get Kono La Magic Style Cradle for a near fall. And then we get the Underhook Magic Killer, because Hulk Emi has to win every show she owns, brother. Now, the show is finished, I now go over to Kyle, who tells us what happened during the tea.
No, you don't, because for this time, this is the first time that I did not watch it.
Mike, did you watch them having tea?
I watched a bit of it, and it wasn't even tea time. It was actually soup time.
Oh, soup time.
Maybe we've got deviation this week.
Maybe we've been wrong the whole time. Maybe it has been soup, and we thought it was tea.
No, I didn't watch last week, but the first week there was tea.
The last two have been tea.
Okay, so it's soup. It's New Year's soup.
Yeah, it was the base of the soup that they... Well, no, it's weird. It's like they said it was a tea, but it used the base of what they used for the Gatoh Move soup. So it's kind of like a hybrid.
This is the super show.
Oh, well done, Kyle. All I was thinking was, does every comedic Japanese wrestler have a food deal? Toru Yano has his curry powder.
Emi Sakura Meals on Wheels.
Emi Sakura had soup. There was a big sing-along, though, which was nice. At the end, I did see that because it was Japanese wrestling, and everything apart from New Japan has a massive sing-along at some point. But yes, that was Gatoh Move. It's a delight. It's a lot of fun.
Whoa. Everything apart from New Japan has a sing-along.
Well, okay.
What do you mean?
Sorry.
New Japan needs singing and dancing.
Technically, that's not New Japan.
New Japan has it.
No, technically, that's not New Japan. That's Suzuki Gun.
No. you're still wrong. Because you're kind of right, but Tai Chi sings his way to the ring. Come on.
Yeah, so know what it is? It's Suzuki Gun propping up the limp, dead body of New Japan with its musical stylings. Basically,
I was gonna say, singing in wrestling is making its way to like a lot more promotions. We've even got it in AEW. Look at Sammy Guevara singing Judas for Jericho's entrance.
All I'm saying is Suzuki Gun the musical. Book it.
TWM Podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shikara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
We're not covering OWE anymore, because fuck that noise. I don't know how we're going to live without OC, whatever his name was. What was his name, Kyle?
Oh, God, what are we going to do without OC Damon in our lives?
And the guy who constantly apologises for poor lighting. However, Stardom have put up all their TV shows from the last year or so. We Are Stardom, the show they show in Japan. So we've got that to cover. So we're going to go through that until not proper wrestling, live wrestling comes back again. This is from a while back. I thought it was November, but off pod, Mike has told me apparently this was May. So I must have read
the 4th of May. They showed the match on the match. They actually showed the date of it.
Because I read it as 5/11, so I assumed it was the 5th of November.
You're not good with numbers, are you?
No, I always forget that it's not just America that have the dates the other way around.
If it's not day, month, year, Matty's not interested.
Yeah, Brexit means Brexit, lads. So, however, this show does have the most Japanese open to a show ever. It is incredibly kawaii, and just a lot of shiny, happy, bright things, and the wrestlers from Stardom. We take a look at the 5-star Grand Prix, which we see Hana Kimura, who is the best, winning the tournament and then challenging B. Priestley. We also saw a shot of Avery, who I wish was on more things. Someone's phone goes off in the background. Are you guys aware of Avery? I believe Kyle might be.
Miss Bin Chicken herself.
Bin Chicken is the best. She's like Martina, but like Martina's out of control daughter. It's the best thing ever. I want to get a hold of the match between her and Scarlett Bordeaux before Scarlett Bordeaux went WWE. It was very, very good, apparently. We see highlights of B. Priestley versus Hana Kimura. It looked like a very good match. I did say this year was my year to get more into Stardom. And this looks very, very good. I want to scope this out. We then see...
And it's only taken a global pandemic for you to start.
For me to start. Yeah, it has. Shut up, Mike.
Matty has become a Joshi fan due to a worldwide pandemic.
I'm always Joshi fan. I'm just really bad at looking the stuff up. Maya Iwatani then challenges B. Priestley. And we get to this match for the Queen of Stardom title. Maya Iwatani over B. Priestley. This match was bloody brilliant, but I don't think that was a shock to anyone, was it, Mike?
No, not at all. My only criticism is I would have enjoyed it more if there was sound, but no commentary.
No, I didn't mind it. I've not watched a wrestling show with Japanese commentary on for the longest time. Gateway doesn't really count. There's not really commentary on it, is there? It's kind of just talking in between.
I've got no issue with it, and I'd watch New Japan with the Japanese commentary if the English at the moment wasn't so good. I just felt they took a bit too much away from it.
There was a lot of heavy talk, and it did seem like this show. I think this show is maybe I don't know for definite, but the way they kind of go through it seems very similar to, like when Rev Pro had their show on Free Sport, and they were trying to
it's more of a magazine show, isn't it?
They were trying to more explain wrestling as well.
The rules of wrestling.
Yeah, the rules of professional wrestling. Opens with some graps and B doesn't break clean, but then it gets fast paced. But Mayu digs up a buckle flip and then B kicks her off. B gets a big knee to take over, and then they show picture in picture, which I liked, how B won the belt from Kagetsu, and then we see Kagetsu sitting in the crowd watching the match, looking badass as Kagetsu does. Forearms ahoy! Mayu hits a big kick, Claymore style, for a near fall. Mayu hits a crossbody to the outside, then a double stomp back inside the ring for the near fall. Mayu frog splash, B controlled, roll through for a near fall. Iwatani misses a moonsault. B hits another big knee. Mayu counters the Queen's Landing into a crucifix driver for a near fall. We get big slaps, and then, oh god, Kyle, this was the run that went around the internet because B dropped Mayu on her head.
We finally got to see it for ourselves.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, but in a week of how can I phrase it? People taking liberties.
Yeah,
she didn't drop it.
This is what I was going to say. In hindsight, we all got very, very angry at this, saying B's unsafe, so on and so forth. And you know what? B has got a tendency to lay her stuff in. However, this was a cock up, but I think it was more 64 because B should have let go, but B didn't let go, and that led to Mayu landing on her head. If B let go, Mayu probably would have just like ate shit and hit like on her side. So it was kind of it was a screw up on Iwatani's.
Her foot slipped off the top rope. No matter what she would have done, it wouldn't have helped.
But when she does it, you see she some reason tries to grab Mayu, so like almost trying to salvage the move, and that ends up leading to Iwatani not landing flat and going straight down. Even what they did, it's not, they're both at fault, but I'm just saying that if B let go, it probably would have just looked ugly rather than nearly killing Iwatani.
I'd go the opposite way, and it's like neither of them are at fault. It all comes from B's slip.
Just because from what we saw B's main impact when we originally saw it, and now we've seen it properly, we can see how both parties are involved in some matter, but when you're watching it as an aside, you're just like, oh no, this person's done that. We've seen it in many, many companies, not just this.
Yeah, what I will say is I feel like everyone pooping on her from a great height from that gif and that gif alone, and we were included. I put my hand up saying that I think we were a lot of people were unfair on it, me included. I remember chastising for that move. But at the same time, I feel like there was more blame from one side to the other, but neither party were the main course of blame for this move. No-sell German suplex train, and then B hits a lovely regal plex for an air fall. B then locks in an ankle lock. She gets close, but then pulls her back, but then eventually Mayo gets to the ropes. B triggering a Kamagoi, but then Iwatani gets to the ropes again. The Old Man Sworn a special. Only half it though, only just knee pad down. Hits another B trigger, but then Mayu counters the Queen's Landing. But then B... This was a lovely spot. I love this. She counters the Queen's Landing, gets her in like a head position. B throws her up and then runs underneath her and jumps up and knees her on the way down. It looked like something out of Tekken. It was brilliant.
There's a lot of good counter wrestling in this.
Yeah. Speaking of which, B goes for the Queen's Landing and Iwatani hits a gorgeous Poison Rana and manages to roll through into a pin for a near fall. But then after that, Mayu might be dead. Psych! She lived. Forearm flurry. Super kick from B. Mayu hits a Rana for a near fall. Super kick, dragon suplex for a near fall. Mayu salt for a near fall. And then the leg trap dragon suplex for the win. Great match. I'm very, very happy we started watching this. It was very, very fun. We then cut to the kind of like the post-match interview, which, God, this made me realise how important Chris Charlton is.
Yeah.
Because Iwatani screams a lot. I have no idea what's going on.
You could. She's really good for the aspect of like when Okada or Tanahashi do promos, or Naito even. You don't know the words they're saying, but you feel the emotion in what they're saying.
Yeah. Whereas Iwatani was a lot of screaming, and then a lot of shouting, and then she collapses. I tried using YouTube subtitles, but it didn't work. I believe
the fact that you tried closed captioning offends me.
The highlight was, the best bit about it that made me laugh was a lot of Japanese, like, writing in Japanese, and then out of nowhere it just came up iPhone 4. I have no idea where that came from.
On closed captioning?
Yeah. I wish I took a photo of it. I'm really annoyed I didn't. But it just comes up, then it goes, like, Japanese writing, iPhone 4. And then... it might be doing product placement. We don't know. She's happy, not only to win, but to be alive after she landed on her head. And then we get some funky 90s pop at the end to round off We Are Stardom. Yeah, like, if you're looking for stuff to watch, this was like 24 minutes.
Yeah, 24 minutes.
And there's all 16 episodes. If you want to follow along with us, feel free. Next week, I'm not very good at reading Japanese writing, shockingly, but it does say Shine and Rise, I think, on it as well. So I wonder if we've got a bit of a crossover event on...
No, it's an early morning show, so it's Rise and Shine.
Oh, they're fighting Eamon Holmes. Got it, right, understand.
Or is it Kylie Jenner?
I hate you for saying that, and I hate myself for getting the reference.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
Right, we've got a little bit of NWA, and then we're going to do a game to wrap things up. I've invented a fun game that totally isn't stolen from a TV game show.
I'm the only original here.
Did you guys manage to watch any of that Superpower preview that we totally knew about and didn't realise it was a thing until about 9 p.m. last night?
You know I did, because I messaged you how much I stand it.
Yes. So you didn't watch it, Michael?
No, I'll go back and watch it.
I think it's like half hour, but really the last 10 minutes you only need to watch, because the first 20 is just them going through everything that's happened between Kamille and Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll. We get the match with Kamille. She just gets a girl called Maddie Max. She kicks the shit out of Maddie Max. Camille's pretty decent. I classed her as a safe version of Nia Jax.
I really liked her. I said, like, her power reminds me of China, and her method in the ring reminds me of Edge, because if you watch this, she does not look at her opponent like she does. No, she does look at her opponent. She doesn't take her eyes off her opponent. There's one moment in here, her opponent's getting a rebound off the ropes, and Kamille, out of nowhere, just reverse leg lariat.
Oh, that was brilliant. Like, it was a no-look leg lariat, and it looked really, really cool. She hits a Finley roll, then a spear for the win. Like, she's very good. Like, I'm very impressed with how good Kamille is.
I think a lot of people don't realise how long she's actually been wrestling for, though.
No, she's been doing this for a while, but we've just not had her in competition. I think she's done stuff for Tried and True as well.
I've kind of only heard for her through the NWA, and
I know exactly the same. But doing a bit of research, looking into like her YouTube channel, that from there you'll see she's been wrestling for about 4 years now.
I'm sure that I saw her at one point, because I think they reside in the Nashville area now. And because Crimson is an NWA producer but also runs Tried and True, I'm sure I saw her and Bram both announced for a Tried and True show.
I would imagine so.
That makes sense.
But finally, Joe Galli's going to get his interview with Kamille. No, he's not. He gets mugged off, and we just get like a bit to camera, which is weird, because what makes me laugh about this is obviously time happens. So they did this bit to camera, and obviously, but they filmed a whole bunch of like establishing shots of Kamille with blonde hair, but now Camille's got bright red hair. So
the thing is, on her Instagram, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna like have this until I have to be silver again for TV." But honestly, now the red like solidifies her character more.
Yeah, what I loved about it is Camille's first word in the NWA was "bitch." It'd be funny if that was just it. She just went, bitch, and then left. Basically, her story's really, really good. Like, I love the story where she goes, no one likes you when you're gifted. I've been good at everything my entire life, and everyone hates me. Everyone hated me for it.
Genuinely watching this, I was already dream booking her versus Bianca Belair.
She is. She's a very... They've gone for a more aggressive... Like, it's a more aggressive Bianca Belair style. When she talks about... She's like, I played softball, and I was so good, the parents complained to kick me... The parents asked to have me kicked off the team because I was making their girls look bad. So I played with the boys. And then the boys' parents would have to, like, keep their own stats because they didn't believe the stats that I did. And she basically just goes like, well, there's no point me trying to, like, make people happy because I'm so good at everything I do. Everyone hates me anyway. Which is
basically, people are envious of how good she is.
Yeah. And she talks about her career and then goes, I vow to end everyone. So somewhere Lance Archer either is trying to get a number, is very, very angry because that's very close to everybody dies.
Well, no, they're different things though. Everyone and everybody.
Everyone ends. But the big bit as well we get from this is they say that NWA Superpower is coming May 2020. Because according to the internet, the state of Georgia is about to lift the ban on wrestling. So it looks like that. I don't know whether they've just not had.
It looks like they'll be able to do the show.
Yeah.
To what level? Who knows?
No, they've already recorded Superpower, I think.
Oh no, they've done Superpower, but I mean the actual
NWA show.
Cup.
But
they get some stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure the deal is with Georgia. Maybe that they're one of those states that's full of the idiots that think, well, I'd rather die than wait for the problem to be solved.
There's a chance they could do this in Nashville because Nashville's been opened for TV production.
Yeah,
tried and true.
That's why.
Which is how impacted it. Tried and true base.
Yeah, they could do it there, but then also I don't know whether Georgia because America's big. Maybe Georgia hasn't had that many cases, and they've had like a long time without any major cases in Georgia. So I don't know, but it's interesting to say they're coming back.
Another issue with Atlanta was obviously there were issues with the AEW tapings as well.
Yeah,
who knows? They lived by all the. So it must be okay.
Well,
all I'm going to say, lads, is it's nice to not watch a promotion that has to deal with blood money.
And what a way to go into my game. I just thought...
It's NWA. They've been shooting Crips for years.
Wrong one. I'm going to have this chat with you off the show, Mike. How many times have I got to tell you? They're different. I know they come up the same on YouTube, but they're different. So basically... This is going to be a game that involves basically all of wrestlers, but that's right, all of wrestlers, because that's a word. We're going to play a little bit of play your grapplers right. Play your graps right, I'm going to call it. I have got in front of me the top 100 rated wrestlers on our favourite website, Cage Match. I'm going to give you a starter wrestler, and basically we're going to do higher or lower. And we're going to see who gets...
These are ratings, yeah?
These are ratings. I've got the top 100 in front of me. Mike, since you are good at games, you can go first. If you know how to play your cards right works, you know how this works. I'll give them a starter one, I'll give them another wrestler, and ask if that wrestler is higher or lower. If they get it right, they carry on. If they get it wrong, it goes to the next person. It's the first one to get... 736 in a row. No, we'll say
of 100.
We'll say 3 in a row, and then if Mike gets it really really quickly, we'll do a second game, or we might make it longer. But we'll start off with 3 in a row. I'm going to start.
Can we freeze much like normal play your cards right?
No, this is all in sudden death. Because we're going to start with everyone's favourite number. That's right, it's number 69. It's Bobby Lashley. And I
love how we're in a world where Bobby Lashley is apparently ranked in the top 100 of wrestling.
I am going to give you I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, Bobby Lashley, number 69. Zack Sabre Jr. Higher or lower, Mike?
He will be higher. I'm sorry. I mean lower.
No. You gave. I'll take your first answer.
First answers.
And your first answer is incorrect. Zack Sabre Jr. is amazingly 8 places lower than Bobby Lashley.
But I said higher because I meant higher at the list in terms of it starts at number 1 and the list goes down.
No, don't give it. Miss me.
No, I'm not. No, I was so quick to realise what I actually said wrong. That
miss me with that bullshit. Right, Kyle, you're now in play. You've got 77, Zack Sabre Jr. I'm going to give you Matt Sydal, higher or lower?
Depends how much pot he smoked to be higher.
No, not in that context, as in wrestling. Higher or lower, according to Cage Match?
Higher than Zack Sabre Jr.? No, actually, I think he might be lower.
Zack Sabre Jr. is 77. Matt Sydal is indeed 80. So you move on to number 2. What I'm going to give you now is Swoggle, formerly known as Hornswoggle. Higher or lower than Matt Sydal?
For the pure jokes of it, I'm going to say higher.
You're saying higher. He is lower. Swoggle is 82,
by
whereas
how much?
By 2 spaces. Swoggle is 82, Matt Sydal is 80. Mike, you're back in play. Kurt Hennig, higher or lower than 82, Swoggle?
So he is lower, meaning he's closer to number 1 then.
You're saying lower. I'm going to stick with lower. I'm going to keep in mind, by lower, I mean the highest is number 1 and the lowest is 100. Stop confusing me, Michael. But you are still correct.
Mike,
Kurt Hennig.
Ranks. So the highest rank is number 1.
Yeah.
The lowest would be 100.
Yes.
So I was right in the first.
No, you weren't right in the first place. Stop doing this. But it doesn't matter because you're in play and you were correct. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, is ranked 1 space lower than Hornswoggle. Michael, you got that last one correct. Kurt Hennig is 1 spot lower than Hornswoggle. For your second go, or potentially 3, potentially winning, I am going to give you Alberto El Patron. Higher or lower than Kurt Hennig?
I'm just going to say, if you're going to try and give anyone Alberto Del Patron, you can keep him.
He is closer to number 1.
So you're saying he's higher?
I'm saying he's closer to number 1.
God damn it. Kurt Hennig is 83. Alberto Patron, 71. 71, right.
We live in a world where Alberto Del Patron is ranked higher on a list.
Recency biased.
We live in a society.
Damn Mexicans.
Right, Alberto Patron. This is potentially for the Winnington in this one. NWA star, former NWA star, we'll call him still, Mr. Anderson. Is he higher or lower than Alberto El Patron?
He is closer to 100.
You're saying that he is higher in our language because Mike has gone rogue. That is incorrect.
Wouldn't that be lower?
Yeah, no. So he's incorrect because Alberto Patron is 71, Mr. Anderson 54. Nearly 20.
Where are they finding these ratings?
Nearly 20.
Who the fuck is ranking this?
The bin.
Right. Back to you, Kyle. Higher or lower than Mr. Anderson, Hiroshi Tanahashi?
Well, it's New Japan, so I'm going to say higher. Someone said
was that Mike play? Was that Mike playing his horn?
It was.
Mike.
I hope that gets.
It was somebody outside my house that shouldn't be outside.
Mike.
I really hope that gets picked up, though. That's so funny.
What I will say is, Mike, you are back in because Mr. Anderson is number 54. Hiroshi Tanahashi 56. Mr. Anderson is
what is this world?
Right, Michael, you're back in. Higher or lower than 56, Hiroshi Tanahashi, JBL?
JBL is closer to number 1 than Hiroshi Tanahashi.
He better be listed number 1. He is a wrestling god.
Is the right answer. Hiroshi Tanahashi may be 56, but JBL is 55. Right. Jushin Thunder Liger, higher or lower than JBL at number 55?
Mike's going to be offended in some way, I can tell.
He's going to be closer to number 1, because if I say anything other than that, then I'm a bastard.
John Bradshaw Layfield, number 55. Jushin Thunder Liger, number 58. I don't know how this ruling works. It must be the volume of votes they've got, because...
What is happening?
Right, have you pulled up this... Is this like a BuzzFeed article you've pulled up?
No, I clicked on Wrestlers Database, and it says, displaying ones at 1 to 100 that search the parameters, and it's literally got them ranked, I think, in the most amount of votes, and then the rating based on that. Like, how this thing makes sense, because I'm going to give you this one now. This game was just falling apart, because Kazuchika Okada, 43. Shinsuke Nakamura, 42. The Great Khali, 31. What the fuck is
What?
What is going on?
That's pretty accurate.
Kaluba.
Oh my god.
Never
Well, Great Khali has trained Kavita Devi, so he's got something
Right.
going for him.
So Kyle, you're back in. Great Khali, number 31. Hulk Hogan, higher or lower than the Great Khali?
You know what? I really hope he's lower.
Great Khali, 31. Don't be stupid. Hulk Hogan's 26.
No, that's the age of a woman he goes for.
Right.
I was going to say it's his girlfriend.
Right. 26, Michael. Hulk Hogan. Batista, higher or lower than Hulk Hogan?
I feel like the thing to do now is see what you think and go the opposite.
Yeah, it feels very much like whatever you think is going to be incorrect kind of game.
I'm going to say he's closer to number 1.
Is the right answer. Hulk Hogan, 26. Batista, 15. Right. Let's go. Sting, higher or lower than Batista?
Sorry, you cut out then.
Sting.
Oh, right, because I thought you said Chandler Bing.
Oh, I thought he
No, I said
he was practicing his Bell impression.
I said Chenandala Bong. So Sting, higher or lower than Batista?
So Golfer Dave was what number?
15.
I'm going to say he's closer to 100.
Is the right answer. Sting is 41 on this list.
What is this?
He wishes he was 41.
Finally, Sting is at 41. Vicky Guerrero, higher or lower than Sting?
This is my new favourite list ever.
Closer to 100.
It's not even my round, but I hope she's in the top 10.
Sting was at number 41. Vicky Guerrero was at number 100. Mike, you win. You won this bizarre game. Do you want to go through the first 10 wrestlers that are worse than Vicky Guerrero according to this list? So, according to this
So 101 to 110.
according to this list, according to Cage Match, 10 wrestlers that are worse than Vicky Guerrero are Kenta, Will Ospreay, Asuka,
Okay.
Scott Steiner, Bailey, Nikki Bella,
Maybe.
AJ Lee,
Well, they had a rivalry.
Stu Bennett, and in the match we all want to see, Tomohiro Ishii.
Wow.
I love how Asuka was on that list.
I will point out that on this random list on Cage Match, Mitsuharu Misawa was 111th.
Wow.
Paul Heyman was in
I-
the top 50.
Can I just say, nobody is ready for Vicky Guerrero.
And on that note, that brings a close to a very strange episode of the Wrestling World Report. If you want to get in touch with us, at TWM Wrestle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, and on YouTube, and Podbean as well, which I think I said. Anyway, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button. Please leave 5-star rating and review on whatever podcast thing you listen to. Check out our articles on twm.news. We've got all sorts of fun and games over there, so go and check that out. We Love Sport UK, welovesport.co, and wrestlecrate.co.uk. Use the code TWM Wrestling for up to 3 free items. Kyle, you have fun on Twitter. What's your handle?
It's changed. The handle has changed. I am now that Kyle James.
That's That's different from... Anyway. Mike.
I'm going to give two on the birthday-related ones as well.
Okay.
So yesterday it was our Lord and Saviour Bill Carr's birthday, so that's at WWE Dutch. And today is one Chuck Taylor's birthday, so at Sexy Chucky T.
Hopefully they've timed up the tapings on AEW that they celebrate his birthday tonight with the same amount of cake. We can only hope, dream, and imagine.
It's the debut of Dick the Hammer Dick Time.
We're all off to go watch that debut. Thanks for listening. Wash your hands, stay safe, we love you all.